Hello. General Hospital spoilers will reveal the tension surrounding Willow has begun to ripple through Port Charles in ways few people fully understand, and at the center of that growing storm stands Carly Spencer. Recent developments suggest that Carly may be unknowingly placing herself directly in the line of fire as she starts to dig deeper into the complicated secrets surrounding Willow Tate Kane. What once appeared to be a personal curiosity is slowly transforming into something far more dangerous. The situation becomes even more complicated because Willow herself is struggling with a heavy burden. While she prepares to take on the enormous responsibility of serving in Congress in Washington, D.C., her private life is unraveling behind closed doors in Port Charles. Drew Kane remains confined to his bed, dependent on regular paralysis injections that keep him immobilized. The unsettling truth is that Willow cannot maintain both realities forever. Her public rise toward political power contrasts sharply with the fragile and morally questionable situation unfolding at home. Behind the scenes, the situation is being carefully maintained by Jen Sidwell, a man whose influence has quietly expanded throughout Port Charles. It is now clear that Sidwell has been helping Willow far more than anyone initially suspected. His involvement suggests that Drew's condition is not merely a tragic medical circumstance, but part of a carefully managed arrangement designed to keep him silent and contained. Sidwell's resources and connections make it possible for Drew to remain hidden from public scrutiny while Willow continues her ambitions. With Willow potentially traveling frequently to Washington, Sidwell's role becomes even more critical. He is positioned as the silent overseer of Drew's care, ensuring that nothing disrupts the fragile balance that has allowed Willow to maintain control over a situation that could destroy her career if exposed. However, Port Charles is not a place where secrets stay buried forever. Lucas Jones may soon become the unexpected catalyst that threatens to unravel the entire scheme. Rumors suggest that Lucas could discover the hidden connection between Willow and Sidwell, a revelation that would instantly raise alarm bells. Lucas has always been someone who follows his instincts, and once something feels wrong, he rarely lets it go. If Lucas begins connecting the dots, the next logical step would be to confide in someone he trusts deeply. That person is Carly Spencer. For Lucas, Carly represents both family and protection. If he senses that something dangerous is unfolding around Willow and Sidwell, he may believe Carly is the only person capable of confronting the truth head-on. For Carly, this information would ignite a new obsession. She has already been investigating Sidwell for entirely different reasons, quietly probing the shadows surrounding his operations. Learning that Willow may be tied to the same dangerous figure would push Carly into even deeper territory. What begins as a question about Willow's safety could quickly evolve into a full-scale investigation into Sidwell's hidden influence in Port Charles. Carly has never been someone who backs away from danger when her instincts tell her something is wrong. The more she uncovers, the more determined she becomes to expose the truth. Unfortunately, this determination may place her directly in Sidwell's crosshairs. By inserting herself into a network of secrets she barely understands, Carly risks becoming the next obstacle that powerful people may want removed. At the same time, Carly's attention has been divided by another dangerous mission. Alongside Valentine Cassadine, she has been quietly working on a long-term plan to eliminate their mutual enemy, Jack Brennan. The two have spent months calculating every possible outcome, knowing that even the smallest miscalculation could cause their plan to collapse. Brennan is not the kind of adversary who can be confronted recklessly. His reach extends into areas of power that even Valentine respects. This is why Carly and Valentine have been moving slowly, carefully constructing a strategy designed to corner Brennan without exposing themselves too soon. The process has tested their patience and frustrated many observers, but their caution reflects the high stakes of the conflict. Yet this prolonged mission has also changed Carly in subtle ways. Her role as a covert partner in Valentine's strategy has pulled her deeper into the world of espionage and manipulation. The woman who once prioritized her family above all else has spent months navigating dangerous alliances and secret investigations. As a result, her focus has shifted away from the people who normally ground her. Now, with Willow's mysterious situation entering the picture, Carly may find herself torn between two explosive conflicts at once. The more she learns about Sidwell and Willow, the more she risks stepping into a dangerous convergence of secrets. If Carly continues down this path, she may soon discover that her curiosity has transformed her into a target, and the truth she is chasing could ignite a crisis that threatens everyone connected to her. Alexis Davis may soon find herself standing at the center of a storm she never intended to create. Losing the congressional seat to Willow Tate Kane would not simply be a political defeat for Alexis. It would be a deeply personal humiliation that cuts into her sense of justice and professional pride. Alexis has spent years trying to rebuild her credibility after numerous setbacks in both her legal career and her personal life. Watching Willow rise to power while so many troubling questions linger around her could ignite a fury that Alexis has been trying desperately to keep under control. The idea that someone she views as morally compromised could step into a position of national authority might push Alexis beyond the limits of patience. In a moment of emotional exhaustion and anger, she may decide that the truth, no matter how dangerous, needs to be exposed, even if doing so threatens to destroy her own reputation in the process. The truth Alexis carries is not a small matter. It is tied to decisions she made as an attorney that blur the line between professional duty and ethical responsibility. At one point, Alexis defended a client while fully aware of the client's guilt, a choice that continues to haunt her. Although defense attorneys are obligated to represent their clients regardless of guilt, Alexis knows that the situation crossed into morally questionable territory that could easily be interpreted as an ethical violation. Her career has already survived several scandals, and another revelation like this could permanently damage her standing in the legal community. That is why the possibility of Alexis speaking out now feels so explosive. She would not only be risking her own professional future, but also reopening old wounds that she has worked hard to bury. Yet, Alexis may reach a point where protecting her own reputation feels less important than preventing what she believes could be a far greater injustice. The more she observes Willow's rise and the strange circumstances surrounding Drew Kane's condition, the more unsettled she becomes. Drew's mysterious paralysis, the unusual silence surrounding his situation, and the quiet influence of figures like Jen Sidwell create an atmosphere that Alexis cannot ignore. If Alexis begins to suspect that Drew has attempted to reach out to her or send some kind of warning, her instincts as both a lawyer and a protector may override her fear of consequences. The possibility that Drew is trapped in a situation he cannot control could be enough to convince Alexis that remaining silent would be the greater crime. Another factor driving Alexis's potential decision is the lingering shadow of Michael Corinthos. If Alexis believes Willow still harbors intentions toward Michael, especially manipulative ones, it could ignite a fierce protective response. Alexis has witnessed the emotional devastation that conflicts within the Corinthos family can create, and the idea that Willow might still be targeting Michael in some way would alarm her deeply. From Alexis's perspective, exposing Willow's flaws might be the only way to stop a much larger disaster before it unfolds. In her mind, revealing uncomfortable truths may not be an act of revenge, but an act of prevention, a desperate attempt to stop another powerful figure from manipulating the people around her. If Alexis ultimately shares what she knows with Carly Spencer, the consequences could be immediate and explosive. Carly has never been someone who ignores information that threatens the people she cares about. Hearing that Willow may be hiding dangerous secrets, especially ones tied to Drew's condition and Michael's future, would instantly capture Carly's attention. Rather than backing away, Carly would likely see Alexis's confession as confirmation that something far darker is unfolding beneath the surface. What begins as Alexis venting her frustration could quickly evolve into a chain reaction that pulls Carly deeper into Willow's hidden world. And once Carly starts digging, history suggests she will not stop until every secret is dragged into the light, no matter how dangerous that truth might become. Michael Corinthos has always occupied a special place within his family, particularly in the eyes of Carly Spencer, whose protective instincts toward her son have shaped many of the battles she has fought over the years. For Carly, Michael represents more than just her child. He represents the fragile future of a family that has survived betrayal, violence, and countless personal wars. That is why any threat to Michael's stability immediately activates Carly's most dangerous side. She has always been deeply invested in ensuring that Michael's life remains structured and secure, especially when it comes to his role as a father. From Carly's perspective, family order is not simply a preference but a necessity, a fragile system that must be defended at all costs. When Willow's past actions toward Michael and their children are brought into focus again, Carly's protective instincts begin to rise once more, reminding everyone around her that she has never truly stopped watching. For a long time, Carly's anger toward Willow was impossible to ignore. She believed Willow had betrayed Michael emotionally by allowing her feelings for Drew Kane to overshadow the family they had built together. In Carly's mind, the grandchildren were always supposed to be Willow's top priority, yet it often seemed as though Willow's devotion to Drew eclipsed everything else. The sight of Willow repeatedly placing Drew at the center of her world deeply unsettled Carly. To her, it felt like a betrayal not only of Michael but of the children, who depended on both of their parents to remain stable and united. Carly's resentment simmered quietly beneath the surface for months, fueled by the belief that Michael had sacrificed more than anyone else in that fractured relationship. Recently, however, something subtle has begun to shift. The tone surrounding Willow's situation has changed, and the difference is noticeable to anyone paying close attention. Instead of reacting with immediate outrage, Carly appears to be watching more carefully, analyzing the situation before making her next move. This shift suggests that she may be sensing something deeper unfolding beneath the obvious tensions. The possibility that Alexis Davis could quietly pass along a troubling piece of information might be the spark that ignites Carly's renewed suspicion. If Alexis hints that Drew attempted to reach out before his condition worsened, Carly may start to question whether Willow has been hiding something far more serious than anyone realizes. Such a revelation could drive Carly into investigative territory once again. Carly has never been able to ignore a mystery that threatens her family, and the idea that Drew might have tried to warn Alexis about something connected to Willow would immediately capture her attention. If Carly believes that Drew was trying to reveal a hidden truth before he was silenced by his condition, she may feel compelled to finish the conversation he never had the chance to complete. That pursuit could lead Carly straight toward Willow's home, where she may begin observing more closely, searching for clues about what has truly been happening behind closed doors. The investigation would not necessarily begin with confrontation, but with quiet observation, the kind of careful stalking that Carly has used before when trying to uncover dangerous secrets. One of the most unsettling elements in this unfolding situation is the looming presence of Jen Sidwell. Carly has encountered powerful men before, but Sidwell's influence carries a particularly chilling reputation. There is something about him that even Carly cannot easily dismiss, a quiet authority that suggests he operates within a world far darker than the typical rivalries of Port Charles. Carly may openly admit that Sidwell intimidates her to some degree, yet fear has never been enough to stop her when the safety of her family is involved. If she begins to suspect that Sidwell's relationship with Willow extends beyond casual assistance, Carly will feel compelled to uncover the truth regardless of the personal risk. The stakes become even higher when the well-being of Carly's grandchildren enters the equation. If Carly believes that Sidwell could be helping Willow in a potential custody battle against Michael, the situation transforms from suspicion into a direct threat. Carly would see this not as a legal dispute, but as an attempt to destabilize Michael's life and separate him from his children. That possibility alone could push Carly into a relentless pursuit of answers. In her mind, uncovering the truth about Willow and Sidwell would not simply be about proving someone wrong, it would be about protecting the future of her family. And once Carly reaches that conclusion, there is little doubt that she will continue digging until every secret is exposed, no matter how dangerous the consequences might become.